Hey everybody, I thought I would just make I don't know if it's going to end up being short or not, but I thought I would make a video just to talk about um, a question that I just had to answer after a seminar presentation from one of the participants. And that was what's going on when um, people arrive internationally into the United States? Why aren't they presented with a form to make a declaration or questions about their stay? And I don't travel internationally enough anymore to know how it is. Of course, I would never know how it is everywhere. But for the airport that I fly to and from most, the Detroit Metro, um, and the experience that I hear from clients that I interact with, um, is the process is not universally applied. It used to be, especially before COVID, uh, you would get a declaration form on your plane before you landed that you would fill out, and then you could present to customs when you went through passport control. But that's not always the case anymore. In fact, I think that's rarely the case. And I don't know if it's because of electronic kiosks that have been put into place, or it's just expected that that's something that you do when you speak to the officer at passport control who asks you where you've been, what you did, how long you were away, and sometimes they'll ask you if you have anything to declare. My most recent experience was probably in 2000. Um, yeah, it was in early 2000. I came I came in, went through passport control. The officer there asked me if I had anything to declare. I said, I do have purchases that I made. The officer asked me if they were over the exemption amount. I said, no, they are not. The officer said, you're fine. Enjoy your day. Go pick up your bags. I went to the baggage carousel, waited for my bag, noticed a sign on the baggage carousel that said, essentially, I'm paraphrasing, you must declare everything, even if it's under the exemption amount. When I just got verbal instructions from the officer uh, at passport control that I didn't have to. I took my bags and I thought, what do I do? Um, I ended up going with the advice of the lady who told me I didn't have to declare, the officer who told me I didn't have to declare anything. But as I was leaving, I noticed that, CBP was firing up the secondary examination table, an x-ray machine, and they would be pulling aside people to conduct secondary examinations. And if that happened, and I got pulled into secondary examination, no doubt the officer would have been like, why didn't you declare this stuff? And I would have said, what the officer over there at passport control told me I didn't have to declare anything. And then it probably would have all spiraled out of control at that point. So uh, I just say that to, I relate that story to you just to say, I don't really know what's going on. I don't mean to be cynical, but in situations like that, it seems like, and from stories that my clients have told me, it just seems like customs intentionally leaves it uncertain what a person is supposed to do to make a proper declaration, just so they have the opportunity to conduct some enforcement activity if they want to. You know, maybe they can train people or get some experience asking tough questions, or uh, issue a penalty notice, or collect some duties for undeclared merchandise that they otherwise wouldn't be able to collect or do if there was no vagueness in the process. That's definitely the case. I've definitely heard people have problems with declaring goods. Since COVID travel restrictions lifted, and especially when the euro and the dollar were at parity, I was getting lots of people contact me who had their goods seized after they, they went on a shopping spree, essentially, brought home some luxury goods. Some of them made efforts to make declarations, but they didn't have the means to make the declaration before they were asked, or they made honest declarations verbally, and those honest declarations were either viewed as not so honest, or it ended up being the officer's word against the word of the person who supposedly failed to make the declaration. And I don't mean to cast anybody in a negative light. I don't mean to cast anybody at Customs in a negative light. And I think a lot of times people are surprised. And I also know that sometimes people don't do what they're supposed to do and aren't forthright about making a declaration, or maybe try to get away with not declaring everything or trying not to make the declaration. I know that happens. And there's plenty of fault probably to be placed on both sides, but that's just my answer to the question that was recently posed to me today. And I just thought I'd share it up on the channel to try to get some more content out there for anybody who might enjoy listening to me talk about the interplay of customs laws and the United States population. Thank you, everybody.